Hey guys, Sword Straight Reaction here. I'm Shane, and I'm back with Star Wars The Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 14. Okay, so guys, I think we only have 1 or 2 episodes left, and the journey has been pretty good so far. Like, I like The Bad Batch, I like Omega, but with Star Wars, I'm kind of spoiled to the fact that usually the stakes are very high. You know, I know The Mandalorian didn't start out that way, but it did eventually go that way. So now we're at the end of this series that's, you know, I guess probably not twice as long, but 1.5 times longer. I think there's like 10 episodes of The Mandalorian. There's like 16 episodes of this. All right. And, you know, I feel like I just kind of, this is a show I really like. And if you're a hardcore fan, you need to watch it. But, you know, in terms of essential Star Wars, like, you have to have this. Like, we haven't had a lot of moments like that. Okay. So it does answer some questions, and I know episode 1 we get to see Kanan. The big thing, kind of answering or seeing the Empire shift from the Republic's clones to the Imperial Academies. That's what we're kind of seeing, okay? And I guess I wasn't dying for that answer. You know what I mean? That being said, Palpatine being the genius that he is, I don't really understand how he thinks that this is better than having clones that are born and bred to be loyal, that can change what you want them to do remotely, basically, you know? I know you don't want to be on the opposite end of that, okay? Just like the Jedi War with Order 66. But he's a smart guy. He'd figure it out. Last episode, we had Sid basically put out of her bar by a Davaronian, devil guy, Roland Durand. His parents are crime syndicate guys. So he's trying to make a name for himself now. So he goes into business with the Pikes. So if you guys remember in Star Wars Solo, and we see them in Star Wars Clone Wars, they are kind of intertwined with, they're like the Italian mob, except they deal with spice, okay, which is their narcotics of this universe. Although they're basically just drugs, okay? So we get to see them deal with the drug trade. And if you guys don't remember, that is borrowed from George Lucas from Dune. So Dune, which is the novel that came out previously, before Star Wars, George kind of borrows that and a couple other elements. So eventually they get with Sid, they sneak under Sid's bar on this like abandoned mining tunnel, okay, where all these, those alien, I can't remember the names of them, those bat creatures, okay, that are sensitive to light. They steal the spice, they lose the spice, and then they basically have to go get the spice back, okay? The Pikes are very pragmatic. They said, we want our spice, and we will consider this issue solved. Those are my fucking kids running around up there. Sorry about that. So thankfully, we got that solved, and a lot of people in the comments said they didn't love this episode, the last episode, but I actually really liked it. I really did. That's just me, I guess. Difference of opinion. Other than that, guys, we're going to go ahead and start this episode now. Oh, snap. I've never seen a stun being used that way. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. Pretty sure those are the same ones from Solo. She's fixing Gonk.
We're being hailed. It's Rex.
Yeah, that Rex. That wasn't Rex.
Can't talk right now. Sending you a signal. I'll be in touch.
What's he doing?
No money means no food.
Oh, yeah. Tech's got a point.
But Rex's friend is in trouble. That's more important than getting paid.
Well, the kid's got a point.
Wrecker.
We'll still be soldiers, won't we?
Of course. That is what you were made for.
Just wants to be a soldier.
We have empowered them to our own detriment.
Yep.
I fear they will destroy us rather than allow this operation to continue. Gather those essential. I will arrange for our departure.
Damn. People always sneak it into Imperial bases. It's not good.
Anything. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
New. Oh, dude, the stormtroopers. And the Republic Commando, obviously.
Hey, newbie. How about you be useful? Get me some food.
Why, Trigger?
That's Captain Trainer.
His armor, that's Ralph McQuarrie early art for Stormtrooper.
Rick sent us.
In that case, the name's Gregor.
Gregor!
Now let's move out.
Cool. Hey, his lights and his visor went out. Getting to some of that old trilogy music right now. A lot of stunning going on here. Lord. He looks like a guy off the video game, Republic Commando. I haven't played that game. It took him multiple shots. He's a badass.
Don't worry about me. This is nothing. I got blown up once and survived.
Clone Wars,
Survived this.
season 4 or 5. That definitely makes me think of The Fugitive.
I'll do my best.
Beast. Dude, he just killed him now. That was cool. Gong droid, he's a battery.
Gonky, we need you.
Good job, Gonky.
It's working. Systems are back online.
Good job, buddy. Saving the day. Good job. Hunter's not gonna make it. I guarantee it. Okay, never mind. Shit! Shit! Okay. Dude, he'd be screwed. Just like Jango Fett did in Attack of the Clones, but not as well. Oh no.
Tell them to come back. Order them to come back.
Sorry, kid. I can't.
Dude, you can't save everyone, you little socialist.
I'm afraid your services are no longer needed.
Uh-oh.
I figured you'd show up.
Oh, he lowered the ratio.
I was hoping for the whole squad. But you do.
This episode didn't disappoint me at all. Lots of times, and I've never disliked this show. I've always really liked it. I go through ups and downs. Okay, obviously you know that if you're one of the 5 people who watch this, I appreciate you. This episode, we really get to see even more the transition from Republic to Empire. So they came to this planet as a favor to Rex in the middle of a mission for Sid to rescue Gregor. So. Yeah, so we see Greg in the Clone Wars. He gets blown up, I'm pretty sure, in season 4 or 5, and then we see him again in Star Wars Rebels. And we don't really understand how he survives. And we still don't really understand how he survives. He just says, "Hey, I was blown up and I survived, and now he's here." Of course, he was training the new Imperials. My question is, did he comply with Order 66? Did he comply and feel guilty, or did he not comply at all? I mean, he's in a position of leadership, so I feel like he had to have, right? Maybe he did, he regretted it, or maybe he just wasn't with Jedi. But CC5576 is kind of the call sign or the designation number or letters that you put in front of their identification number for clone troopers. There's CC and there's CT. CT is clone trooper, I believe, and CC, actually I can't remember what that is. I thought it was clone commando, but I guess I'm wrong. Because the Bad Batch guys are CT99s, okay? And which is a recognizable defective model. Okay, so we get to see that the TK call sign or TK designation from the old trilogy. We're seeing that already, which is basically I think a couple months later or a few months later. So the Empire is not, or the Emperor isn't wasting any time. Okay, so he's gunning for as much change as possible. He's out with the old. Not to say peacekeepers, out with the old soldiers, which the clone troopers, and with the new. He's even changing the designation to TK. So I don't know what TK stands for. You know, Omega, I like Omega quite a bit, but she can't save everyone. You know, she's like this quality of outcome instead of a quality of opportunity type, young girl who probably would rank very high in compassion. And people who do that want to save everyone. Okay? And, and that's a good quality, but you got to have you got to use your head, you got to flex some intelligence there. Because obviously they weren't very prepared for the mission, and Hunter ended up getting captured in the end. My question is, why did Crosshair lower the ray shield? Was it for cinematic effect? Well, not cinematic effect. Was it for a powerful storytelling moment for the audience? Or is he going to turn? That's my question. A part of me thinks that Hunter could die in this series. He could die in the finale. And that will obviously propel Omega's character forward. But the problem is, Hunter is just one of the main... they're all the main characters. But I feel like out of that ensemble group, he's kind of like the Jack Shepherd of the group. I think he'd be hard to kill. But, it could also serve as a redemption for Crosshair. That would be interesting. It'd be very bold. I don't know if they're going to do it. And is Lama Su dead? Nala Se, who was the one caught for breaking the rules, she's being taken into Imperial custody as a scientist. And that makes me wonder, is she going to be used for the Emperor's cloning programs to do research on cloning and stuff like that? It's just interesting that she has that kind of maternal instinct. She cares about her kids, the young clone troopers, So, yeah, I don't think it's the last we've seen of her, and they might try to link that with Palpatine and cloning. And spoiler alert for the the sequel trilogy, they might try to link it to Palpatine, being resurrected and the backup plan, and Grogu stuff could be in here as well. So that's really cool to think about. One of my favorite things from the expanded universe, and now Legends, is like the Emperor and the cloning stuff. Force Unleashed did such a great job of that, just showing that obsession with immortality and using a combination of of science and dark, not dark magic, but the dark side of the Force, just this amalgamation of technology and the dark side to, resurrect people. It's pretty damn cool. We also saw, we did see a Republic Commando. The yellow guy, it reminded me of the guy off of Republic Commandos, the video game. But they're not Republic Commandos, they're Imperial Commandos. So the guy in all white, he was really cool. He got choked out and his lights from his visor literally kind of dimmed. The aesthetics on this Imperial base reminded me of the old trilogy. I didn't really say this during the reaction, but that reminded me of just Star Wars Episode 4. Like the room they were in when they were hiding in there. And the corridors were a lot more narrow. In Star Wars Episode 4, there were a lot of budgetary constraints on what George wanted to do. So the hallways were very narrow, okay, for the most part. There are a couple wide ones. Obviously, the shot of Ben Kenobi and Darth Vader and stuff like that. There are exceptions, okay, but they're kind of set pieces for certain shots. For the most part, those hallways are much more narrow than they are in Star Wars Episode 5, when the movie becomes the biggest movie in the world, and they said, we got all this money, now we can make these hallways wider and things like that. So they reminded me of okay, we're getting close to Episode 4. Not Episode 5, but Episode 4 aesthetics, okay? I like Gregor's line where he said that he was teaching these guys to be the replacements, but he didn't teach them everything, because why would they do that? They reminded me of the Dark Lord of the Sith, how they will train their pupil, but they won't teach them all the tricks of the trade, because that would be dumb. They had to earn it, or maybe they never will, right? I don't really remember what his voice sounds like, but he has a really unique voice. And obviously we see him in Star Wars Rebels, and they all sound like slightly older versions of themselves anyways. We had the group escaping the base, and we had Wrecker and Omega back on the ship waiting, right? And they're doing everything they can to stun their brothers because they don't want any more bloodshed. But then when Wrecker comes, he just starts wrecking and killing everyone with a minigun. Okay? So, that's kind of cool. But it also makes you think, oh, man, dude, don't kill them because they're being controlled by Order 66, so to speak. Guys, I don't have too much else to say. I'm not sure if Lama Su is dead. It made it look like he was, but I think they're leaving that open in case they want to use him again. But Nala Se is obviously going to be used for the Empire. It'll be cool to see her story fleshed out in a way where we kind of link up the sequel trilogy to the old trilogy and the prequel trilogy. And guys, I don't think I have anything else. Oh, we did have Gonki be useful for once, the Gong droid on the ship. He gave power, and I think he kind of spun out in the end, and he was kind of overloaded. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. This was a cool this was one of my favorite episodes. It really was. I don't like attaching scores. I mean, I don't like attaching a score to these type of things particularly, but I really liked it, and I actually like the last one as well for the naysayers in the comments. But guys, I love you. I appreciate you guys coming here supporting the channel because we're doing everything we can to make it grow. Other than that, guys, we're out of here. Guys, thank you so much for watching my reaction and my breakdown of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. If you like me and you like Third Shirt Reactions, Zach and James, just like and subscribe, hit that notification, leave a comment down below. We really appreciate you guys, all right? Thank you.